OM Jesus, boys, girls, we've returned with aliens, Colonial Marines, that's what Nair's calling it from now on. We're back, we're still playing this god-awful game. I have realized that this was a terrible mistake, that the game rage is something that no person should ever have to do, let alone voluntarily, and somehow not only have I managed to do it, I've managed to drag Nair along for the ride. How are you holding up?
My throat hurts.
His throat hurts. He ate pizza and he didn't swallow. That's all. Oh, he did swallow, he didn't chew.
So, what is our plan for this mission, leader of the game?
This is where the game just goes completely off the rails, because this is the second time that I played this game through, and to be perfectly honest, I still have no freaking idea what the hell they're actually doing here, because for whatever reason, we're going to go, we've brought down the fences in the last episode, we killed all the Steves. The Steves are gone now, I'm sorry. And we're going to, head through the Wayland Labs now, and we're going to head towards the Bone Ship, which is the crash ship from the first Alien movie, which is what got all the people infected in the first place. And here's a queen, because reasons, I guess. I don't know why they have a queen. The only queen that was in Aliens is dead. It's floating, unless they plucked her out of space. I have no idea what the hell she's doing in this game.
What the hell else would you call it?
So it seems like there's just a lot of crap going on that doesn't make a whole lot of sense for an Aliens fan.
It doesn't, I don't understand why they have a queen, at all. There's no explanation given, it's just, this is the first time you see her right now. She's escaping because that's what queens do. Then, yeah, that's it. She can't hurt you, by the way. I mean, she just, rammed her head into me, but I didn't take any damage at all. I guess this is supposed to be scary? I assume we're supposed to be feeling tension at this point?
Yeah, I could tell this was coming the second the Queen showed up, so, yeah.
It's what queens do. It's on her resume. Queen, alive for 2 days. Qualifications, escaping from shit.
So we're just going around and we're going to be shooting things, I assume.
Well, as I said, we're shooting out, we're going through, we're making our way to the Bone Ship, and we're going to head through the Bone Ship to go pick up Hicks, who is the big secret character who is a POW that no one knows who he is until they take the bag off his head. That's really what we're doing. Now, I want to make I'm not really sure if I would call this an apology. I just want to say for the record that normally when I die, I will normally do a hype time to get us back to where we were with some sweet music. As you can see, I just died, and there's no hype time. And you know why there's no hype time? Because I ran out of fucks. That's why.
So you're just cutting to where you died, huh? That's certainly good.
No, I'm just playing it through. I'm just playing it through because this game has sucked all the energy out of me. I literally dug around in my pockets while I was editing and found not one spare fuck to give about creating hype time, so you guys are going to suffer as I have suffered the whole way from this point forward. All of it.
From personal experience, and trust me, it's personal experience, that's not a good idea for editing.
I know, actually, well, truth be told, if I did die several times in one spot, I would have done that, but I think the most I die in one spot is twice. I might die a second time here, but I do get through every area pretty fast. It's not like in the last episode where I was trying to lower the crate onto the APC, and it took me several minutes to get through that. This is all pretty fast.
Yeah, so this is just another firefight section.
Well, what I find really weird about this is, from this point forward, there are two interesting, well, I wouldn't say interesting, that's giving the game entirely too much credit. There are two distinct things that happen. First of all, the game ramps up the difficulty significantly, and it does so just by throwing more of everything at you. That's the game's idea of increasing, the scale of difficulty as things go. Second of all is that the aliens and the Weyland-Yutani mercenaries seem to have teamed up, because whenever there are aliens and Weyland-Yutani mercenaries on the screen at the same time, they will actually attack you in preference over attacking each other.
Oh, really? That seems kind of stupid.
It's beyond stupid. It's that's not 100% of the time. You will see Weyland-Yutani Marine guys getting occasionally attacked by aliens, but you would think in a logical situation, if you were a mercenary and you'd been hired to kill these Marines, and like these Marines burst through the door. There are 2 Marines burst through the door, and there are 50 like Xenos bearing down on you. Which takes your priority in terms of staying alive?
Yeah, so, stupid AI, that continues as a trend here. Nice.
Oh, it's a big trend. You're gonna see a lot of really dumb AI, especially once we get into the bonus ship. Because the AI will literally just run out of a door and just run straight at you, firing. It's beyond stupid. And the aliens aren't much better. They hop around a little bit and whatnot, but they still are just like charging at you a lot of the time. So yeah, it's all just firefights really from this point forward. Because you know that's like ramping up the tension. That's like it's action now. We're done with the suspense crap.
So, what you're saying is we're going to be incredibly bored the rest of these parts.
We're gonna be so bored. If you like, I would recommend do not actually watch this. Just have this running in the background while you're checking your email, talking to a loved one, making coffee, all that sort of thing. Because our commentary is going to be the most interesting part of anything that happens from this point forward.
Okay, so
was it like you guys have like Mystery Science Theater? Where you just like listen to an audio and like play that over the video? Isn't that how that works?
yeah, pretty much. So, ultimately, what have you been doing lately?
Well, there's some other interesting things about that we can talk about here, aside from my life and what I've been doing lately. We're not that bored, come on. No, well, what's interesting about this as well is that as you'll see this as the game goes on. There's something about the way that the game loaded on my PC, and I'm not sure whether it was the game itself or whether it was Fraps, because Fraps is fairly system intensive when you're running it. It limits games most of the time to... It hardlocks games to 30 frames per second when you are recording for some obscure reason. Even if you try to turn that off, it will still do it. So, but regardless of that, this run of the game actually gets progressively more glitchy as things go on. And I don't want to spoil the glitches, because some of them are just absolutely just what the fuck is going on kind of glitches. But you'll see it definitely. Nearman's gonna have trouble seeing it because he's watching a very low res version that I put on YouTube with no commentary. But you guys will see it that there's already a few times when I've died and restarted that textures take a very long time to pop in, and it's going to go downhill sharply from there as this progresses.
So, at least we'll have something to look forward to. Yay!
Yeah, that will most definitely be a highlight of the game, I can assure you of that. We are bumping into some new alien types here as well. We're bumping into several of the... you have like your basic aliens. They're very actually hard to tell apart. You have your basic aliens, which are the aliens which have ridges in their head. Those are like the ones from Aliens, where basically James Cameron just decided to take the original design of the alien and just take the smooth forehead off them from Alien 1. However, we all are also running into the Alien 1 alien a lot, which does have a smooth head. That's the only way you can tell them apart. And smooth head ones are just bullet sponges. They take a lot more hits to kill and just charge at you a lot faster. So there's something. That's the thing.
Is there any gameplay difference between them? Just bullet sponges?
No, absolutely no. They're like you'll see a lot of the enemies from this point forward are just absolute bullet sponges. Yeah, they're not that guy in particular, but you will see like there are several times where I think those times it may have been before, maybe coming up, where there's a guy behind cover and I just lost patience with trying to kill him and just ran up and shot him over the barrier, and I still had to dump like half a clip into him to actually kill him.
I see. So, what else are we doing here? Just shooting at everything, or can I just go back to sleep now?
You can see in the background... You'll hear the dulcet tones of Nairman sleeping through this entire playthrough. No, in the background you can see that is the Bone ship, which is the ship that was, as I said, it was in Alien, it was in Aliens. It's only in the special edition of Aliens if you have that. It's also in Prometheus. I think we talked about that it was going to be the ship from Prometheus, but then it turns out it wasn't. Oh, I just knocked my pop filter off my microphone. Come back here, you. Yeah, and also there's another weird. There's actually a nod to Prometheus in this game. You'll see it coming up later on. Where you haven't seen Prometheus, have you?
Into the structure.
No, I heard how bad it was, so I decided to skip it.
You skipped every Aliens movie. Regardless of that, there's actually a weird sort of nod to Prometheus in this movie, in this game rather, where in Prometheus they use these little flying balls that shot red lasers out of them to track, to map the insides of the ship. And for no reason particular, you'll see it's probably going to be a later episode. Actually, it probably won't be in this one. We are in the bone ship now, but it actually happens during your second pass of the bone ship, where you actually get to see the ball flying through, like the mapping ball fly through. There's some textures. How's that? That took several seconds. Flying through there, and it's just for no goddamn reason. There's no the ball has no place in this in like this part of the timeline for aliens, but it's there because Prometheus.
It's kind of like having the Naboo starfighter in various Star Wars games or some other advanced technology that happened in the past that no longer exists in the future. Why is it more advanced in the past than it was in the future?
Yeah, I suppose, but like the weird thing is like it's such an obvious because this game came out in a very similar time frame to Prometheus. It came out, I think, probably 6 months give or take to when Prometheus came out. So the only way that there would have been that ball in this game was if someone from Gearbox Studios just rang up 20th Century Fox and said, "Is there an Easter egg from Prometheus we can throw into this game that will take literally 5 minutes to program?" And that's what they came up with.
It wouldn't surprise me. This game seems to be in completely rushed in every particular way, so yeah.
So we are inside the ship. We are inside the bone ship now. We're in we're in the area where all the eggs are actually being housed from there. It's like the whole in the original Alien movie. There was actually this area here where the people went into, and it was just filled with eggs. This was before in Aliens canon that the Queen existed. Because in the original Aliens, this is fun facts with Red Gambit. In the original Alien, there was no queen. There was just the xenomorph and the egg, and so there was no explanation for where the eggs came from or how they came about. And so there is actually a deleted scene from the original Alien movie where Ripley is going through the ship and she encounters the rest of the crew, and she finds they're actually being cocooned to the wall, which is obviously Aliens canon, but they're actually being there's some dumb AI. Look at that, they're just charging out of the fucking door. They're actually being turned into eggs. They're actually slowly morphing into, they're like half eggs when she finds them, and they're like begging her to kill them.
Huh, so I guess that would have been interesting if they had done something like that in this game, but it seems like they really didn't, so yeah.
That probably would have been more an interesting Easter egg, but it still wouldn't make any sense in the canon, because obviously we know where eggs come from now in terms of the Queen and whatnot, so... But anyway, that's just like kind of an explanation as to why there is just this large open area just filled with nothing but eggs, because when it was created there was no explanation. Yeah, well, the explanation for the eggs is that they're people! Silent Green is people!
Doesn't sound too terribly interesting. I'm glad they went with the Queen. That at least seems a bit more imposing.
Well, that's the interesting thing, and this is more fun facts with Red Gambit, is that the original Alien design was designed by H.R. Giger, who is the Swedish artist. I think he's Swedish, Swiss, I don't know. But regardless, he's the guy who designed the original Alien. He was, and if you've seen his artwork is dangerously fucked up. It's amazing to look at, but it is just really messed the hell up in terms of just like sexual themes and just how bizarre it looks and whatnot, which is why it worked so well for the original Alien, because it was such a weird biomechanical construct. I'm looking around for secrets here and I can't find any. I thought there might be a secret here. It's such a weird biomechanical construct that no one at the time had ever seen before. But the Queen was actually designed by James Cameron. It wasn't designed by H.R. Giger at all. It was designed by Cameron when he was flying. He was on his way to, one of the. Hey, how you doing there, sir? He was on his way to one of the meetings, I think, for the original pictures for Aliens, and he was just in the plane, and he was just sketching it in a notepad on the plane.
Yeah, a lot of things are done at the last minute, even when you're an adult. Remember that, kids, for the future.
Well, yeah, I mean, pretty much. I just find it very interesting that, a lot of people obviously associate the Alien with Giga, but when it was actually the Queen itself, who was obviously just as iconic as the Alien, was designed by an American. So there you go, USA, USA.
Says the Australian.
Hey, look, we are slowly being absorbed into America culturally anyway, so I may as well get a head start.
Yeah, might as well get ahead of the curve, as they say.
That's it. Be on the winning team. So yeah, that's the story of that. And I mean, like, that's not obviously the first time it happened. Giga was actually still a creative consultant on Aliens, but he was slowly just removed from the entire process of the Aliens movies as things went forward. Like in Alien 3, he barely had anything to do with Alien 3, and Alien Resurrection, which has the abomination of the alien-human hybrid, the newborn, that had nothing to do with Giga at all. That was designed by a French man, which explains a lot.
So what you're saying is the designs are a clusterfuck of nationalities. Good to know.
Pretty much, they are. But that's the weird thing, is like one of them, but by American, is really good, and the newborn is just fucking horrible. So whatever. I mean, this whole franchise has just gone completely down the tubes. In terms of just like, as it's gone on, it's just gotten progressively worse. I mean, the last half decent Alien movie was Alien 3. And it's got, like, you know, I think we talked about this already, that Alien vs. Predator was just the worst kind of clusterfuck imaginable. And Prometheus wasn't really much better, so... I mean, they are saying, like, now they're going to get the guy who directed District 9, sorry, whose name currently escapes me. He's going to... Now, like, the internet, like, lit up the other week with news that he was going to... Neil Blomkamp, that's his name. Neil Blomkamp is going to direct a new sequel to Aliens. They're going to pull a Superman Returns and just ignore everything that happened after from Alien 3 onwards. It's going to have Sigourney Weaver in it. It's going to have Michael Bain in it and whatnot. And I'm not really excited about the idea, honestly.
So would you prefer a straight-up reboot, or would you consider continuing on with what they've established in certain movies and hoping it turns out well?
I honestly think that, like, if there's ever, like, two series that needed to be rebooted, one of them's Terminator and one of them's Aliens. I think those are two series that are just so fucked up in terms of, like, their canon and how things progressed after a certain point that they just need to be rebooted to clean that up, and they're not for either of them, which is the shittiest part. So yeah, I would prefer, like, you know, don't get me wrong, I love Ripley. I think Ripley is an amazing character. I think Sigourney Weaver did fantastic things with that character, but she's just too goddamn old now. I'm sorry. There's that dude I was talking about. I just got fucking impatient with him. Yeah, I just think, like, as a movie fan, I just think it's going to ruin my childhood if I see a 60-year-old Sigourney Weaver still trying to fight aliens. It's just not going to work. I'm sorry.
Well, at least you know what you want, and that's the important thing.
So I'm just basically like every single person on the fucking internet. I know what I want and nobody cares.
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright, that's going to do it for this episode of Aliens, Colonial Marines. We'll see you guys very soon on the next episode.